Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tapua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Makanisi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in bar.
Bula, my name is Tisa. I love listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, government steps in to stop development works at Sovi Bay. Logman Sawari deported by authorities. And family worried about hospitalized son.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
In an FBC News exclusive, the government has stopped development work at Sovi Bay in Singatoka due to the construction work affecting the pristine environment. Lands Minister Fayaz Koya says it's the government's responsibility to ensure all developments in Fiji are done in a sustainable and environmentally conscious manner. Kelly Vadala reports.
Patukarasa village landowners say they leased this slice of pristine coastal land in Sovi Bay to Chinese developers 2 years ago for an agriculture development. The Turanganikoro says since then the developers have changed their mind twice, first saying it was to be a hotel development and recently saying the land is to be used for a service station, a supermarket and a nightclub.
We didn't know anything about these recent developments. All we knew it was an agriculture development. But now we have been told that there is going to be a service station, a supermarket and a nightclub being constructed on this 7-acre land.
Melita Wake says the developers have now started to work on land outside their lease and have also diverted the river, damaging the fragile ecosystem. The government has now put a stop work order.
Stop work is with respect to the river that runs next to it, because it's native land, so it will be something that, in terms of the other development, has to do with native land. But with respect to the Ministry of Lands, we put a stop work to ensure that they didn't divert the river in any way. So not 100% confirmed with all the details until we do our assessment. You know, everything we do with respect to rivers and streams and all of the things that when people are doing development, sometimes it's on native land, but at the end of the day, Ministry of Lands is responsible for the rivers and streams, so they can't be diverting rivers.
The Environment Permanent Secretary says his role is to protect the ecosystem and ensure all developments follow proper regulations.
It is true that we will not allow ecosystems to be upset or damaged, but in the process we'll also work with them to support them as to how they can go about the developments without damaging the ecosystems.
The river behind me is a source of daily income and also provides us with our everyday meal. Even though it belongs to the government, now the river is partially blocked due to the construction done by the Chinese developments.
Minister Koya says everything will be done to ensure all developments in Fiji, no matter how small, follows the country's rules and regulations regarding the environment and its sustainable development. A stop work order will be issued to anyone ignoring the laws of the land. Despite the stop work order, questions still remain as to the details of the actual lease and how the developers were able to not only change the development but also increase the construction area without the landowner's consent. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Iranian refugee Logman Sawari has been deported to Papua New Guinea in an early morning intercept that ended any hope he had for asylum here. The Fiji Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission Director Ashwin Raj says Fiji has breached international human rights law and is calling for a legislative review. Sawari's lawyer Aman Ravindra Singh says his client was treated unjustly. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
All that remains of Logman Sawari in Fiji are his bags, his hurried deportation, leaving no time for a baggage check-in.
I asked the police as to what they were doing. There was no straight answer, no introductions, nothing, no names, no ranks, that this is our order, nothing. Simply they kept saying, we are taking him, we are taking him. So I said, hold on, under whose directions? The Immigration Department.
Human Rights Commission Director Ashwin Raj says Sawari's expulsion is a breach of international law.
Contrary to international human rights law, and in particular Article 31, Article 32 and Article 33 of the 1951 Convention relating to the status of refugees, which Fiji succeeded to in 1972.
Permanent Secretary for Immigration Yogesh Karan has an explanation for Sawari's deportation.
There's so much of controversy and comments made on this, but at this stage what I would like to say that there's a violation of immigration laws and we have acted accordingly. So that's what I'd like to conclude.
If Longman Sawari was allowed to apply for refugee status here, it would have been Fiji's first case. His deportation, though, has opened the doors to possible legislative review, given the evident mismatch between national immigration legislation and international human rights law. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
We now join Maggie live. Maggie, the government has taken out a statement on the issue in the last hour.
Good evening, Jackie. The Attorney General has released a statement with regards to the issue. He's saying that the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, has advised Fiji that Sawari is not recognized as a refugee under the UNHCR mandate. He also goes on to say that under international law, anyone who is seeking political asylum is required to lodge an application without delay. In the case of Sawari, this did not happen, given that he was here for 10 days and deported this morning. He also clarifies that the passport on which Sawari travelled into the country on was obtained through fraudulent means. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Maggie. The father of a 14-year-old boy currently admitted at the CWM Suva Hospital is distraught, claiming negligence by medical staff has left his son immobile and unable to speak. However, the health ministry says they have given the child the best treatment after he suffered a bacterial brain infection. Roland Karoy reports.
The cry of a helpless father. This is what his son Frank Hilton Shah looked like just 2 months ago, and this is him yesterday.
Every time we ask the doctors, they just say, he's okay. But he can't eat nor drink. They've operated on him 4 times, and only when he went into coma, then they told us that he had pus in his head.
Rahmat Shah says his son was taken to the Lambasa hospital on December 16th with an ear infection, and after surgery, he was airlifted to Suva for more treatment. The health ministry says the patient's condition is due to a brain abscess as a result of a chronic bacterial ear infection that affects the mastoid bone behind the ear.
After the surgery, then they told us that they had to remove a bone from behind his ear because it was damaged. Why didn't they tell us that in the beginning?
The health ministry says Minister Rosie Akbar has been updating and consulting the family constantly to see the best way forward for Frank's recovery. The ministry says medical staff have been working diligently to treat his condition in all ways possible, with prompt surgeries performed. The health ministry says Frank is being closely monitored and some improvements have been noticed after he was moved from the ICU to the acute surgical ward. Roland Karoy, FBC News.
The Ministry of Health is in the process of filling all vacant positions. Eleanor Turangaiviu reports the shortage of medical staff is across the board.
The shortage of doctors and nurses continues to be an issue with the Ministry of Health. Currently, there are 243 vacant nursing positions.
We have vacant positions that need to be filled, no doubt about it. We advertised 243 vacant positions for nurses and we are processing it. Hopefully that gets filled and we will be able to allocate nurses where there is a need.
Health Minister Rosie Akbar says they are also working at addressing the need for more doctors.
In terms of doctor recruitment, we started off with the locum arrangement. It's going pretty well, but that's not the solution. That's a short-term solution. In terms of recruiting doctors from overseas, I think that lies with the Ministry of Civil Service.
At the Lambasa Hospital, there are 56 vacant positions for doctors, nurses and medical officers.
We try to manage with the limited resources that we have. We have a relatively young workforce.
Current staff at our health facilities are already stretched, putting more pressure on the demand for services from the public. Akbar says the ministry is trying its best to fill the vacant posts, not only at the Lambasa Hospital, but also at other health facilities around the country. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Still ahead, court orders direct legal aid to represent accused. And wheelbarrow boys turn problem into income generator.
मेरा नाम कमल रोशनी है। हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तवरा में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Suva High Court has ordered Director Legal Aid to represent accused serial rapist and murderer Choso Dholanaundolu. Facing 2 counts of rape, 1 count of murder and 1 count of abduction, Dholanaundolu appeared before Judge Justice Salesi Temo. Shireen Shivan reports.
Joshua Dholanaundolu is alleged to have raped and murdered 14-year-old Mere Alivu in Deumba 3 years ago. The court was informed that Dholanaundolu only wants legal aid services for his bail application and his substantive matter will be handled by another lawyer. Judge Justice Salesi Temo said he won't allow this in his court, adding the accused is facing serious charges and seeking bail to find a lawyer has become a common excuse. Dholanaundolu then stood and told the court that he will hire a private lawyer. The court then asked another lawyer sitting in court to advise the accused how much it would cost to pay for legal services. The amount reaches to about $30,000. Justice Temo then asked Dholanaundolu whether he has that much money, to which he said he now wants to represent himself. The court rejected this, with the judge saying he will be answerable to the Fiji Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. Justice Temo also said Dholanaundolu has history as a dangerous sexual predator with offences dating back to 1998, and allowing the accused to represent himself will mean allowing Dholanaundolu to sabotage the case. He has ordered the Director of Legal Aid Services to represent Dholanaundolu and that he does not want to see junior counsel in the trial. Dholanaundolu has been remanded in custody and the matter has been adjourned to February 20th. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
Tuitavo Ratuna Danieli Unge called an urgent meeting today over an incident between the Methodist Church and the Vanua of Tavua. After a day of fasting, Ratuna Danieli informed his people to meet at the Methodist Church in Tavua Levu village last Wednesday to pray. However, as Ellen Stolz reports, churchgoers found the church locked, leaving them to pray outside.
The village of Tavua Levu is trying to come to terms with why they and their elders were locked out of this church.
We already had our meeting this morning and we all formalize everything, then we will look into these differences between the Methodist Church and the Vanua. Because it's the Methodist came to this village to advise the Vanua, not to take over the Vanua.
Village headman Penny Ndalituidama says the Methodist Church burnt items such as tambours, masis and mats at the foot of the church, claiming it would cleanse the village of demonic presence. A monument was then erected over the ashes of the burnt items. However, a movement called the Healing Ministry preached in the village earlier this year, and the Tuitavua declared the village was wrong to burn the items. The Turangani Koro also clarified that the monument in question, which was situated here in front of the Methodist Church, was not burnt or demolished, but it was removed by the Vanua.
So they have a right to come and pray, they have a right to come and attend the church service.
After the monument was removed, the village found the doors to the Methodist Church locked, leaving people to pray outside. When contacted earlier today, Methodist Church of Fiji's Secretary for Communications, Reverend James Bhagwan, told FBC News that they understand the sensitivity of the matter and are now urging reconciliation. The Turangani Koro assured FBC News that the village is not divided, but will be investigating the incident and getting some answers. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
While the landslip at Kasavu outside Nausori remains a problem for the travelling public, some clever entrepreneurs are committed to earning a decent income because of it. A number of wheelbarrow or barra boys are more than happy to charge for transporting the cargoes of passengers who have to walk around the landslip on the King's Highway. Savaira Tambua has more.
Transporting goods and other items for bus passengers is their main job for the day. Passengers traveling in both directions have to walk around the landslip, and the barra boys help them transport their goods for a small fee. While the passengers see the landslip as bad luck, The Barabois say it is good for them.
It's an easy way of earning income, and I believe it's God's plan for us.
We are very fortunate at this time.
This job is quite different from others. We boss our own self and we collecting more money from this job.
No vehicles are allowed to cross this landslide, and for those using public transport, bus service terminates at both ends, meaning a short journey on foot. For some, this is quite difficult.
It's my humble request to the government or whoever, responsible, probably the Fiji Roads Authority, please do something about it, because not only me, there are many more people who are suffering due to this.
FRA Chief Executive John Hutchinson says their priority is to get the Kings Road repaired and open to traffic as soon as possible. He says part of that involves realigning the road to ensure there won't be landslips in the future. Samira Tambua, FBC News.
Time now for Rachel to tell us what's happening in the world of business.
Good evening. Coming up after the break, Sugar Ministry sets aside $500,000 as fertilizer subsidy. And later on in Growing Fiji, Pranita is back again tonight, this time telling us about how Nakasi is developing at a rapid pace.
Sounds good, Rachel. And later on in sports with Jamie, it's all about sevens for the Fijians.
Hola, we from Latoka. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is Kanto. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Mula Fiji, my name is Florence Ratu. I'm from Corner Number 1 in Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits every day and all day.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm from the soccer crazy town of Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Sugar Ministry has set aside $500,000 as fertilizer subsidy for farmers affected by floods late last year. Sugar Permanent Secretary Yogesh Karan presented a report to Prime Minister Varange Bainimarama, who approved the subsidy this morning. Karan says details will be released next week.
Farmers, admire their spirit. They've gone back and they're trying to prepare best, what they can do. I'm glad it happened at the beginning of the season, cane planting. So still they can, get back on their feet and get themselves prepared. But on this assistance, it's very simple. And we have Sugar Ministry will be working very closely with FSC. So we have worked out a formula how it's going to be allocated. It will be per acre, and we'll divide that by whatever funds we have.
On to today's exchange rates. The Chinese yuan and American dollar rose slightly today. The yuan was closed at $3.28, while the US dollar closed at 47 cents. The Australian dollar was down by 45 points, closing at 62 cents Fijian. And both the New Zealand dollar and the PNG Kina rose slightly, closing at 64 cents and $1.32 respectively. And in the commodities market, oil rose slightly to close at $53.72 a barrel. Gold followed a similar trend to close at $1,221 per ounce, and silver was fairly steady, closing at $17.46 an ounce. The suburb of Nakasi in Nassori is developing at a rapid pace. Renowned supermarket chains, retail stores, restaurants and banks are all opening up. Pranita Prakash reports.
The demand for businesses in Nakasi is on an all-time high.
Overall, the number of people increased, therefore the demand for business houses increased. We can see a lot of developments taking place, such as new complex opening, and plazas opening, shops opening, major supermarkets coming up. So as a result of increase in population, increase in demand, we can see these changes happening.
Ali says there is a lot of potential in the area, and this has also encouraged them to expand.
Currently we are undergoing major repairs, like we are expanding the shop, we are catering for the increase in demand of hardware materials, and a lot of houses are being constructed because new subdivisions are coming up, such as the Housing Authority subdivisions. So in that case, we are the major suppliers of building materials.
Present development that is taking place, it is very good for the people of Nakasi, and I know the people of Nakasi, the area is growing, and they need more development in this area for the benefit of the Nakasi people.
The development that's been upgraded in 9 miles will bring employment to the generations.
It is good for us. We are glad that we will have shops and banks near to us so that we don't have to go to town.
This is the latest complex which will open later this year, making Nakasi even more popular and slowly developing into a major business hub. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
That's it from business this evening. Jamie's up next with sports. And I understand the Fiji Sevens team has been named today.
Yes, it was, Rachel, and with a few surprises as well after the break. We'll take a look at Gareth Baber's lineup for the Sydney Sevens. And FBC TV announces free-to-air coverage of the biggest fight in boxing this year. This and more coming up.
Well, what TV Tarokuta, my Honokula and Rasa Lutoka, Duba Talita and Avarong on radio Fiji One.
Bulan Arango Fina, my Corviri Nandi, out the Talitaka Navarongo and a radio Fiji One, na Procaramu, Masmasu, and a Mataklai.
Oya, Chone Kurinabila, my Vunanguru, Namakete Hina Tokapwe, the Talitakina Navarong on radio Fiji One, Gina and Domoiviti.
Na radio Fiji One, and Domoiviti in Wonga and Vienna.
Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber has named the debutant in his 12-member squad for the Sydney tournament. Speedster Nathanieli Lambalamba has made the cut, pushing Samisoni Viriviri out as the 13th player, who will only get drafted in if there's an injury in the team. Tough forward Setereki Mbutiniata, who serves a 3-match suspension, has been dropped from the final list. Nipi Emosimule Voro, who joined the team on Monday, has also made the cut. Meanwhile, Nemani Nangusa will be cleared to play from the second pool match after completing his 6-match suspension from Wellington. Meanwhile, coach Gareth Baber is confident the team named is more than capable of getting the job done in Sydney this weekend. While Baber's obvious aim is to do better than his second place finish last week, he plans to take each game as it comes. Vasil Prasad has more.
A big call for newcomer Nathanieli Lambalamba, who's expected to shine in Sydney Sevens this weekend.
It's a good situation to be in. He's coming into a team that's playing well. Obviously, you want to take the pressure off him as much as possible. In a full stadium, it was something he's potentially not used to.
With Setireki Bituniata out, Baber is expected to play around with the forwards. One positional change could be Captain Osea Kolinisau.
In there to do it with Masalami, Kalioni, obviously Oscar can play in there as well. So yeah, we've got some options.
Samoa is up first, and Baber says he's ready to face the Samoans and coach Gordon Tidgens.
We'll be looking at that first game as a way of generating some momentum in the tournament as well, whoever we play. So we've just got to be mindful of the threats that they have.
We are just few hours away from tournament, and the fans at this stage are confident of a win.
Lambalamba is a good player, and I wish him all the best on his first tournament.
I think they're a good team, and I wish them all the best.
I'm giving thanks to them because they're trying hard.
So the hopes of the nation will be on the field with our Sevens players looking for a big win in Sydney. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
And Vashnil joins us live now with more from the Sevens camp. Vashnil, you've been in contact with Coach Baber and team management. How are things shaping up ahead of kickoff tomorrow?
Thank you, Jamie. While the Fiji Sevens team is ready to roll from tomorrow, temperature is something of a concern to the teams taking part. Earlier this week, the temperature went up to 39 degrees. Tomorrow is expected to be 31 degrees, while Sunday is expected to be the hottest with temperature going up to 36 degrees. Well, apart from that, Fijiana Sevens team were in action today. They lost to Ireland 19 points to 12 and came back firing, beating Brazil 31-10. They play Australia later tonight. Jamie.
Thank you, Vashnil. Now, the Super Football side goes into this season's Vodafone Premier League under new leadership and with high expectations. Former rep Nathan Shivam has taken over coaching responsibilities as the Whites prepare for their VPL opener against Bar this Sunday. Rohit Deo reports.
It's a rare sight at this time of the year to see majority of players standing up for training. This signals a good start for new coach Nathan Shivam, but he knows beating defending champions Bar won't be easy.
It's 2 weeks preparation. I think it's not enough for facing any premier team. But I know it will make a difficult for me. But for us, I think we're gonna give them a good run.
For Shivam, joining the Whites is an opportunity to prove himself as a district level coach.
I'm very honored, and it's a privileged moment, a memorable moment for me. I played in Suva, and the executive have given me chance to coach Suva team.
Sataraki Hughes has played under the guidance of Shivam at Saraswati College. The national rep says he's happy that someone like Shivam will be guiding the Whites now.
I played for him during my secondary school in Saraswati, where we came and won the secondary school IDC.
The Ba side has prepared well, and player Abu Zaid is confident of a win this weekend.
It won't be easy, but we have prepared well, and we are in camp also, so we're gonna go game by game.
The Whites meet the Men in Black Sunday at 3 p.m. at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. The winning team will have made the perfect start to the new VPL season. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Great news for boxing fans. FBC TV will air the biggest fight of the year for free. The blockbuster between heavyweights Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko is billed for April. Vashnil Prasad reports.
Is that we are able to bring this for the people of Fiji and totally free. This is touted to be the biggest boxing match in the last 15 years in the world of international boxing, and it's a big deal for us.
I'm really excited that FBC is airing it live and free here in Fiji. So this will bring a lot of interest.
According to everything in boxing, experience everything, I'll go for Klitschko.
I'm a heavyweight boxing fan, and for people that are fans of heavyweight boxing, it's really good to see that the heavyweight boxing is coming up.
Very much. FBC has always been, involved in trying to promote minority sports in the country.
The Fiji Sports Council is pleased to announce that preparations for the Fiji Sports Awards on the 17th of this month are on track. The Sports Council is excited to announce that the highlight for the night will be having a Fijian Olympic gold medalist as the guest speaker for the first time. Fiji Sevens Olympic gold-winning team captain Osei Kulunisau will do the honors as the special guest speaker. Sports Council CEO Lichana Lombuka promises a big night filled with sports stars and great entertainment.
For once, we can have our own Olympian gold medalist come up onto the stage and give us a talk on how he prepared and what he had to go through in order to come out the winner in 2016.
That's it from sports this evening. Later on, weather with Angie, and in the world of the weird and wonderful, Fiji's dancing bus passenger. Catch that after the break.
I'm under a sort of of whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Taiwanese actress and model Heidi Yi says an internet meme ruined her career and had a damaging effect on her family. Social media is part of most people's lives. We share photos and videos, laugh together at cute cat videos and memes. But how would you feel if you were the unwitting victim of a meme? Angie is now here to tell us how the conditions are looking for the weekend and whether it's good to go out for a picnic or stay indoors.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather World. Hello Friday. I hope you're excited as much as I am because it's a rugby-filled weekend and I can't wait to cheer for our boys. Today's conditions were pretty much the same across the nation, not much difference except for the occasional sporadic showers. Now let's see what the scenario was in the west. All centers there reported temperatures of 32 and light winds. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, some cloudy periods but the same temperatures all around 32 with some scattered showers. And up north, more of the same with Savu Savu, the coolest port in the country at a very warm 31. For those of you planning outdoor activities tomorrow, Of course not when the Sevens are here live on FBC TV. That's indoor time. But you can expect clear skies for most of the day, giving way to heavy rain in the evening. I'm afraid this heavy rain may lead to flash flooding in low-lying areas, so do take the necessary precautions. Further ahead on to Sunday, light showers are expected in most parts of the country. Good weather for watching a Fiji wind, with the east having some heavy rain in the evening hours, which again may cause flooding. At sea, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. For you fishing enthusiasts, the next high tide is at 11:42 p.m. tonight, with a low tide at 5:53 a.m. tomorrow morning. And before I go, a big shout out goes to our Sevens heroes. We got this. And that, Jackie, is a wrap from FBC Weather World.
Well said. Thanks so much for that, Angie. Sevens rugby is on Fijian Pulse. We ask Fijians, what do you think of Fiji's chances at the Sydney Sevens this weekend?
I think they'll do better against last weekend. Hope they do better.
Definitely the boys will win the Sydney Sevens this week, just by looking at the techniques delivered last week.
Go Fiji, go! I hope they win. They must win.
They have a high chance of winning if they play to their heart.
In the world of the weird and wonderful tonight, have you ever enjoyed a song so much that you just couldn't help breaking a move? That's exactly what happened with this passenger on a Suva bus. Without a care about who was watching or what anyone thought about his carefree behavior, this young man got up and tore it up with his moves in the middle of the bus. A perfect, energetic start to the morning for the cheering passengers who obviously enjoyed the impromptu entertainment. And if you're wondering, the infectious song is Au Mai Vakila by the group Nascenda. Recapping the main stories, government steps in to stop suspicious development at Sovi Bay. Logman Sawari deported by authorities, and family worried about hospitalized son. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Now to our poll question this week, we are asking, is the Education Ministry correct in banning junk food from schools? To answer, visit our FBC website. Before we go, today's shot of the day was taken at sunrise. This view from Lavala Bay in Suva shows the golden skies signaling the promise of a warm sunny day, the last working day of the week. It was a perfect morning for early rising fitness fanatics and those bound for work before the morning rush. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight from the team and I. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
Hola, we from Latoka. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is Kanto. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Mula Fiji, my name is Florence Ratu. I'm from corner number 1 in Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits every day and all day.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm from the soccer crazy town of Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.